Okay, so this is part 2 of the video that I was doing. The last video cut me off, so this is part 2. This one isn't going to be as long. Thank you, Jesus. So kind of to start off where I last left off, I was saying that if I had a specific hypothesis, I would do a planned contrast, and these are essentially the things that I would be looking at, or the commands that I do to, conduct everything. So now we're going to plot it. So now here is where we can test our assumption of linearity and homoscedasticity. So the first one is homoscedasticity. Just going to keep it enter 3 times. So let's go back. So normally, really, if we see a funnel shape, we're kind of in trouble because that indicates heteroscedasticity. We're not seeing a funnel shape, so we can essentially assume homoscedasticity. So that's good. Now, as far as linearity for residuals, not so much. So, as far as linearity, both the assumption of linearity, we can't. It may be nonlinear, and it may, it's your interpretation of what you want this to be. But I'm going on the assumption that it's not. And if we wanted to look at simple effects, then these would be the codes to do so. For simple effects, it would kind of be like if we're looking specifically at interactions. But since we don't have an interaction effect, or there was no significant interaction effect, then there's not really a means to do it. So yeah. So now with effect size. Woohoo! So effect size, you really use omega squared. And these are the commands that you do for R to tell it to do so. Yay! Gonna keep going all the way. Yeah. You know what? Just... Okay. So that all these commands essentially, from right here to here, essentially they create the omega factorial. So then we're going to do this. So essentially for gender, we have an effect size of 0.67, so 67%. So that's kind of strong, medium to strong. There we go. As far as rank, it's not that much, but about 19.19 or 0.20 if you want to round up from 7. I did. Now as far as interaction, well, since we don't have an interaction effect, this isn't really important, but I'll report it anyway. 0.13 if you want to round up from the 8. So yeah, so that's kind of cool to see. Now, since we're kind of like looking at effect sizes, we can also check the effect sizes for the effect of gender at different levels for rank if we'd want to. So essentially, it's kind of implying that interaction effect, looking at how can they both like interact with each other, or how they're different, or specific, not how they interact, but actually, yeah, they do. Huh. See how when you start talking, you find different things to, mention. But anyways, regardless, so we can check the effect sizes of gender. We can check effect sizes for the effects of gender on rank if we want to. And these would be the commands for us to do so. So you can just run it. Yeah. So correlation, 0.5, so medium. Associate rank, 0.27, kind of weak. And for, what is this one? Full-time? Yeah, for full-time, 0.15. So kind of weak too. Insignificant. But that makes me curious to go look at the other ones. Yes. Yes. So, hold up, wait. Okay, so it's kind of cool. So overall, just to recap, and I think these effect sizes give confirmation to how, or give confirmation that gender does have a main effect on salary. So that's kind of cool. So ignoring rank, gender has a significant main effect on salary. Depending on which rank, range from small to strong effect. So that's kind of cool. Thanks. And that's pretty much it. Bye.